one.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 28. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Play action. They'll throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lopez. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, can't get away, and he's taken down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago: 17 carries, 94 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Off-play action. Nelson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or lights out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over. They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right? In baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined there.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass. Yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that.
I'm so confused. Back to throw. Nelson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
A try here for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. This will be fielded at the 8. There's the stiff arm. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
Now, let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play with some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes, but the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You've got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Now a handoff here to his running back. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Partner What are your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Back to throw here. And his throw is incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. They'll set up to throw. And incomplete here on third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here we go. Brand 38.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the defense comes onto the field for the first time, and it is a unit that struggled a week ago.
So they're looking for a fast start, Brandon. Can they create a turnover early? Can they take the ball away? That's what this unit's looking for to get back on the beam.
Second down, 8. Looking to throw. Nelson. Right side caught by Jackson. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well. So now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic. But downfield in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
Let's go.
Set to throw is Nelson. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And getting our first update now from Nashville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Here's Nelson throwing on first down. Uses the stiff arm. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Now Nelson operating from the gun. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that'll lead here to a third down. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-0 is our score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Again, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Throw left side complete. That's Lopez. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it to score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And that is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy, most likely, to bring him down. That was a nice game.
Nelson on 1st and 10. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Nelson now looking to throw on second down. Jackson's got it over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Nelson throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Set to throw is Nelson on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Here's Nelson. Going to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now Nelson throwing on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Nelson to throw on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They run the counter now on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Back to throw. Nelson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. This offense so far on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a third and goal here. A reminder coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. The Texans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is third and goal. Nelson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And this one is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So it was a drive that seemed to go on for an eternity, forever. Our sponsors were probably saying, hey, we need to get our products in here on these commercials. But after all of that, 3 points is the result.
Yeah, it's hard to say who came out ahead there, isn't it? On one hand, you kept the defense out there a long time. But after controlling the ball for so long and just moving the ball incrementally down the field, a field goal seems like a bad result.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball to make a big play. Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Set to throw is Nelson. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Here's Nelson from the gun on 3rd down. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And out come the Dolphins now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Set.
To throw now on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. As they run the counter play. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Back to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff, because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. And if you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short kick. It's taken at the 23. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter in Nashville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Now Nelson, a final shot before break. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we send you up to Orlando, and with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Larry Ridley.
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Dolphins now for 2 straight weeks are having trouble throwing the football. The Texans defense will hope they can force that trend to continue in the second half. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 2nd and 8. Jackson's going to cough up the football here. Following the forced fumble, the pass ends up being picked off. Dolphins defense comes away with the turnover. Now following the pick, Roach is found on the quick pass and catch, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. We're tied back up at 7. 3rd down at the 40. Nelson's under pressure and throws the pick. Dolphins defense gets off the field with the turnover. After the pick, offense comes out now, pass into the end zone here, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. They're now on top by 4.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Nelson off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Breaks the tackle. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here we go.
To throw on 2nd down, Nelson. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. A very solid gain of 27.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles.
They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Looking to throw. Nelson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Able to get there and pick it. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
second down following the run.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And now out comes Houston. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
He finds an opening past the 40. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So now here come the Dolphins. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And on on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Seven yards to go on second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. To throw. Nelson. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They come out here in the I. Second and goal to go now. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Calling no gain that time, and now it's third and goal.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on third and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Point after here coming up. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is not with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see it.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Ten yards still left on second down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And to give this time to the tailback. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Nelson now to throw on second down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Texans on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Set to throw is Nelson. Operating from the gun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The Texans send the punter out, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it's a 2nd down. 8 yards to go here on 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a big play there on 2nd down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 16.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 46. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will score. Pick 6 for the Texans TD. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down. The Dolphins on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 17. They'll look to throw. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He'll drop to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That one good for 21 yards. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Green 39. Green 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And now out comes Houston. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
Come on, let's run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
Around the NFL, they're in the fourth now in Green Bay. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game, but these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Texans, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.